Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to the last segment of this ink profile series. What we're doing is ink flight number 20 from September of 2018, and this is the last ink in the series, Herbin Bleu des Profondeurs. So it's a beautiful dark blue, and let's get started by seeing how it does in the water test. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and put it in there while I do the video. That way you'll be able to see. Ooh, it's nice. That's a nice color that comes out. Okay, I made a mistake the other day and I showed you the wrong result yesterday. I was supposed to show you Coral des Tropics, or Coral of the Tropics, and that's what this looked like. I just happened to have another one laying here that I ended up turning to instead. But that's how that one looked like. And then from yesterday, here's yesterday's actual ink. Was the Amethyst de Laurel, and it did show up, it did stay real nicely, except it doesn't look purple anymore, but all of the pigment stayed and you can read it. This is interesting. It's not disappearing quite like some of them do, so that's very cool. Okay, so let's get in here and I'll show you where we're really at here and get a good glimpse. During 30 Inks 30 Days, I covered the Rouge Granat. I gotta remember that. I covered that one. And then ever since, we've been doing the rest of them, and this is the last one right here. Here it is, and let's turn over to where... and this is kind of good timing because I know the new ink flight's going to arrive any day, so I hate to be still, really testing out these when a new one comes. So, so here we are right here. Gosh, this ink is pretty. Right away it reminded me of Diamine Oxford Blue, but it didn't turn out to be so much like that as I thought. But we'll look at those comparisons here in a little bit. It flows really, really well. It's not a dry ink at all. Of course, I would expect that because it's the J. Herbin, but it's really, really pretty. Now, that's interesting because I almost see sparkle. There's no need for that. Even over here, but maybe it's just the lighting. Okay, so it's available still at Ink Journal for $12 for a 30 milliliter bottle. And my first impressions are that it's just a very nice navy blue. It's not as dry as Diamine Oxford Blue is. I have a bottle of that ink. And I like this color very much. So let's see how it did on the various notebooks and papers and so on. This is the Cafe Note with Tomoe River paper from Nanami Paper Company. And here it is in that journal. Nice and bold. Oh my, these last 2 days have been real bold inks after we had some real light colors. I was just going to flip back and kind of show you, this is quite bold compared to some of the others. So this is today's, of course. And everything's going well, but as I'm learning that this is what I'm concluding, is that eating healthy is not a lazy enterprise. It really isn't. It's something that I have to stay on top of things and think things through and do more food preparation, but that's okay. That's, maybe that's one of my major errors in the past, was thinking that I could cut corners and get, make it simplified. But anyway, I don't want to get off too much of a soapbox there, but things are going well. And I loved how that ink looked in that notebook. It was just beautiful. Here's the envelope, the Ampad security envelope. And of course, it actually bled more than some of the others, or feathered more than some of the others, but we expect that. This is more for the water test than anything. Okay, and here's the Leuchtturm 1917 dot paper, and it went really well on there, and I can't remember whether it bled through. No bleed through at all. I should have known that, though. I didn't expect it would. Okay, I added one today just for I was curious and everything. And it was a special reason too, but here it is on Tomoe River paper, the one I use for letters, which is 52 GM. And I thought it looked really nice on there, which is good. I already have it in the Serendipity, and I wrote 2 letters this morning really early, and I've got more to go. So let's put that where I can get to it, because there's something I want to compare. Okay, this is Claire Fontaine, the 90 gram paper. Looks nice on there. Nice and dark. Just a dark professional ink, I would say. I don't know if you all would agree with me. I don't work in an office outside of my home anymore, so but I think that would be perfectly acceptable in an office. I used to work in an office. Here's Rhodia dot pad, the J. Arbonne. There it is. I'm not sure how to say it, but it looks nice on there, and that's real good quality paper too. And here comes Office Depot College Ruled notebook that I have to use it up. I've got some ideas about where to go from there. I probably won't purchase another one of these, even though I like it, because I think I can actually do better price-wise and everything. But here it is. The only thing I may have to sacrifice is that this didn't have the holes in the side, and I do like that feature. There's no bleed through, even with that broad nib. Okay. And then here is CVS caliber paper. It looked good on there. It is lighter. Let me see. Let me compare them. First we'll compare with the Rhodia dot pad. So it presents lighter on this paper. And probably that's something I haven't emphasized perhaps enough. You do get a little bit different. But you also get a little different on Tomoe River paper. So at times, and this ink is not one of them where I would say, oh, this is much lighter on here than it is like on the Rhodia. I think it compares quite well in this case. But at times I have also seen that same phenomenon on Tomoe River paper. So that's one of the reasons I did that little experiment. And I had this extra piece, and I just got my shipment in, so now I have letter writing paper again. I use it till I run out, then I go over to this paper, whatever I have. I try not to bust my budget completely. But yeah, you could see for yourself that there's some difference, not a whole lot, but even up on these other colors, there's a difference. So I think it's fun to experiment and to really study those things. So, wow, that's interesting. Look at that. It's kind of acting like yesterday's. It's acting like yesterday's. Huh. And it's not a shimmer ink, but anyway, that's cool. But we'll let it, just to be fair, we'll let it continue simmering there. And let's get out what I have for comparisons here. Now, I had a whole bunch of these done for different colors of blue, and I ended up making some more on a strip, and I can lay it across and we can compare to some more blues. But first I started with this because this kind of helps me find out what ballpark I'm even in. This was a little bit challenging. Some of the ones I thought were going to compare really well to it, not so much, Everything looks kind of dark on here. And this is a dark ink. It's even Diamine Oxford Blue is a little brighter, and we'll see that better down here on this one. But this got me kind of in the ballpark, I thought. And at that point, I realized that, gosh, yeah, nothing really quite looks exactly like it. And I'm hoping this lighting is not. We got a storm right before it was time to do this video, so I'm having to resort to my trusty overhead here. Light. Okay, let's go ahead and pick this up and get this as close as we can. Okay, so this gives us a little better comparison between today's ink and Diamine Oxford Blue, which was what I thought was the closest in my collection. I thought that, and I'm still not really sure. It's sort of there are a lot to compare it to. This one was too bright, KWZ Baltic Memories. At the same time, over here, it came across a little differently. So who knows? Could be the paper. Now, we got a few more here that we can play with. Just keeping in mind that this is our ink of today, so I'll keep my thumb right there. We've got that, didn't put that on there, did I? Rohr and Klinger Verdigris, way off, different. I wasn't finding anything that I thought really looked the same till I got down here. Then, well, not really. Noodler's Mass, it's much more grayish. That one I thought was fairly close, actually. That's not too far off. Fountain Pen Revolution Blue Black. At the same time on here, it, oops, try to cover up all the rest of that. Kind of came across darker, so I may have gotten across to a wrong piece of paper there. So that's interesting. Now, up here they were all too bright, and this was from last time. I just wanted to show you that I had almost all my blues down on these little papers, but I wound up with these three. Not really. This one's not really as close, but I thought it was still kind of fun to compare. But the real fun started when I started playing in the art journal. So let's look at that, because that's worth looking at, I think. Ta-da! Wow. Okay, this was really amazing. Now, what happened was I did this one, and I swear to you, I hardly used any ink, and it just exploded, you know. But I realized I needed to use less ink on the water in order to get something like, you know, what I wanted, which ended up, oh, this is pretty. I like this, you know. But I just, if you try this, I haven't yet figured out how to apply the ink without going overboard in some cases, especially with a saturated ink like this. So I used a really thick paintbrush, and I just laid down the water, and then I put what I thought was one tiny little drop, and it just, you know, it was too much for this one. But yet that's still interesting, and we get to see more by having both, because then over here we get to see actually a little bit of the chromatography come out, all that light blue, and it's gorgeous. I mean, this was really fun. I like that. Not that I didn't like this, but I wanted to see more contrast, and that, I think that's the key to this kind of art. And that, and whatever you know, magic that Nick Stewart has, because this is where I kind of found out about this, is from him, and I've linked his website before. So that was really, really fun. Huh. Awesome. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for today. Oh my, today it's not going to be as long. That's good. I think that's really good. Now, what is next in the world here is probably a walkthrough of my ink journal, because it's, well, almost halfway. Maybe not quite, because these pages are thicker. But someone has requested that, and I think that would be fun. I mean, we can go a little slower and stuff. And the other thing is that the next ink flight box will be coming probably like today, tomorrow, you know, right soon. I know that it was already mailed out. It's coming from New Jersey to Texas, though, so it'll take a while. And then there'll be that, and there are a whole bunch of little mini-series that I want to do. One of the very next mini-series, other than the next ink flight, will be some out of these. I'll go ahead and pull those back out again. Now, I'm going through in my mind trying to figure out, I'll just set this aside. I'm trying to figure out, because a lot of the ones I want to do, this will be like a Chris's Choice kind of little mini-series. A lot of them are purple and lavender, so, you know, I'm not quite sure if we'd get bored, and when I say we, I mean me probably, with so many in the similar range. You notice I only have two oddballs. I have a gray, which is Diamine Silver Fox, and then I have Pelican Edelstein Topaz. So those two stand out, and the rest of them, not that they're all exactly the same, but we're talking about kind of lavender purple and then lavender black. So 4 of them are very similar. So I was just thinking, I don't know what you guys think, whether that might be, you might get darn sick of that, but that's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 inks, like an ink flight. And some of these could show up on the same panel. Then we'd have a very particular, we'd have a very unique gray panel. That'd be fun. And also we would have a completely turquoise kind of panel. So that'd be fun. So I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm timing wise, I'm not sure yet, because it all depends on some other reviews I'm thinking about. But this is definitely, these were all inspired by the 30 Inks 30 Days, and it inspired me so much that I got samples. So, you know, that tells me something. Oh, there's another one hiding. Oh, I counted wrong. That means there'd be 8 in that series. So anyway, that's just something for you to look forward to. I got a lot of other projects going on too, but next will be ink flight number 21 and these colors, I think, because this is like, I can't wait to see some of these in this format, and I think that it would just be so much fun. If you haven't been to his website, go there and also look up his YouTube channel. Today I'll link his YouTube channel. Now they're really quick, really short videos. It's like, you know, not, you might have to take his class to really learn, but I just started trying, you know, just doing whatever, and it's fun. I've enjoyed it every day that I've done it. So thank you very much for watching. There's a lot of good ink to look forward to, and I just appreciate your being here. And I welcome and appreciate all feedback. I learn every day. I learn something, and I also learn sometimes that I need to have a little bit more balance in terms of, you know, I may be extremely over enthusiastic about something, but I may need to kind of also think about how it might impact someone else, or be, it might not appeal the same. You know, I may be coming from a purely budget angle, or I may be coming from how much I write, because like I write all day, every day, in multiple different places. So I do cut corners on some of my writing with my paper and things. But this is all good, because every time we learn, then we can sort of offer a little bit more or widen our perspective. So I like it. I like it a lot, and I appreciate all of you for being here. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.